Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Sentai Daishikkaku episode 11, the penultimate one indeed. 12 episodes to this season, to this series. I hope it gets another season. I really do. I mean, I say it with pretty much every single show I'm watching. Maybe not Unnamed Memory. That would be one exception, I guess. But yeah, I do hope it gets another season, because we're not actually going to get particularly far in this season, are we? Right? Like, we got to the point of this, realization that what he wants is freedom from any oppressor, instead of just changing the oppressor. So that's, a big thing. That's a big arc completed. But there is so much more to the story that I would really like to see, and it's not gonna happen without another season. Speaking of seasons, a bit of housekeeping. I'm gonna be streaming my look at the next season of anime this Saturday for me. Some other day maybe for you, because time zones and stuff. The stream announcement waiting room thingy should already be up, or will be up shortly. So you might want to be interested in that, because another season of animes is starting very, very soon, sooner than expected, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. So, with that out of the way, now let's talk about the previous episode of Sentai Daishikkaku, what exactly happened. The entire episode was essentially one big fight with Peltrola, and one big character development, character journey, I guess you could say, for D. Right? He had the chance to question where his allegiance is, where his loyalties lie. Who is he exactly loyal to? Because here it is, a boss monster, someone that all of the fighters were loyal to, and Double X remains loyal to, seemingly at least. And here it is, reappearing. They thought the boss monsters are dead, but they are not. And what do we do with that fact, right? Do we rejoin those boss monsters as if nothing ever happened and continue on the quest for world domination? Or do we start to question, why did the boss monsters not help us if they were around? If they saw what the Rangers are doing to us and did nothing, right? What choices do we make? And D and Double X both made maybe not very different choices, right? Because very different choices would be one of them aligning themselves with the Rangers and another one aligning themselves with the boss monsters. That's not what happened. Double X clearly aligned herself with the monsters, right? The boss monster, Lord Peltrola, is alive. Hallelujah. I'm gonna join him and give up my life for him. That's what she did. Meanwhile, D did not. He formed his own opinion. He formed his own faction. And that is the faction of himself and his. Basically. Whoever is his friend is a part of his faction, and D will fight for them and for their freedom. Whoever is not his friend is not his friend, and thus not a friend of the faction. Very simple worldview, really, but very important. The realization that it's not just the keepers who are oppressing the fighters, but the boss monsters kinda were doing that as well. So instead of jumping back into the embrace of an abusive ex, D decided to form his own opinion, form his own faction. That's why the previous episode was so groundbreaking. But I started talking in circles, so let's change the tune a little bit. What else happened in that episode? Besides the fight with Peltrola, we got more fights with more Peltrolas, essentially. There's the main, not the main body, right? Every single body of Peltrola is the main body. But there's the main chamber where the Blue Keeper was fighting Peltrola, and then we got a couple more separate fights. One of them is the fight of lieutenants versus Peltrola, which revealed some of their really interesting powers, like Yumeko Suzukiri's remote control of time, which is just fucking mind-blowing. Are there any limitations to its power? Can it just do anything and everything? Because if so, then it's hella overpowered. It's something that I would expect the leader of the keepers to have, not just a lieutenant of a secondary keeper, essentially. We got Canon, my favorite design-wise, at least, character so far, and she has the weird, like, jaw mouthpiece thing that allows her to eat the attacks, which is again a mind-blowing idea. And we have Masurao using like a wand thing, right? Like a Maho Shoujo wand thing, but he uses it as a mace, and that's super cool. And we have Shun, who has a gun. That's basically it. He has a gun that shoots dragons. A very simple concept ultimately, but he's not a particularly complex character either. At least not yet, as far as we know. So that fight continues with one of the bodies of Peltrola, and another one of the bodies also tries to run away and is cornered by the... what are they called? Not candidates? Trainees, maybe something like that, by, you know, all the people who were taking part in the exam. Not all of them, but like most of them, and both the underdogs and the people who tried to screw them over. And eventually D also joins them, has a very nice grin on his face because he made up his mind. I'm not fighting for the boss monsters who ran away and did not try to help us, who abandoned us. I'm not fighting for the keepers who kept abusing us. I'm fighting for my fucking self and my friends around me. Good job, D. Good on you. Legitimately good on you. That was an amazing episode, particularly because of that, again, that decision made by D. That was a very big thing. Where's Double X? We don't know. We know she's alive. We know that she is still, or seems to be at least, loyal to the monsters. I don't know how much of it is just an effect of maybe some sort of a brainwashing, maybe just an abusive relationship. I'm not sure about that. I don't know where she is. She doesn't have her arms anymore. She's badly wounded. Wouldn't surprise me if D maybe just shut her in the closet and, you know, left her for later. We're gonna deal with that later. Wouldn't surprise me if Double X just took over for Ranmaru, essentially, the way D took over for Hibiki. Kinda. Double X would take over for Ranmaru and experience the camaraderie and form friends, right? Maybe something like that would allow her to break out of the boss monsters Peltrola's spell, right? Hopefully that's what happens. My figurines are out of frame. That's better. Gotta flaunt it if you haven't. Yeah, I think that's it for the summary. We ended the episode with D and his fellow examinees facing against one of the Peltrola's bodies. And in today's episode, we're probably gonna fight it. We're probably gonna see two separate fights. I think one will be the lieutenants versus Peltrola, another would be examinees against Peltrola. Maybe we're gonna see Blue Keeper against Peltrola as well. We'll see. We'll see about that. Right, Suzukiri is also like doing something weird with Peltrola, right? Like she stopped the time, muted the sound, and talked to him. I still have no fucking clue what her game is. I thought I do, but I don't. Like multiple times throughout this show, I thought I know what her game is, but every single time she proves me wrong. And it's kind of fascinating how she like remains the same, right? It's not like she changes her tune and changes the route she wants to take or anything like that. No, she continues the same route constantly. She's internally consistent, but it leads me to such wildly varied impressions of what she's actually doing versus what she is actually doing, which I still don't know what it is. So it's gonna be interesting to see how today's episode goes, and the finale is going to be certainly most interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if all of our examinees, all of our newbies, were accepted into the Rangers, because all of them proved themselves to be worthy, especially after they win with one of the bodies of Peltrola, which I assume is going to happen. Perhaps with a couple casualties here and there, maybe a chance for some of the some of them to like redeem themselves, like Sojiro, Angelica to a degree, right? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. It's just speculation. So how about we just see what exactly happens, right? Should we? To do that, you will need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, and I'm gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs nothing, helps a lot. On Patreon, early access, UQNS Season 2, Episode 1, already up. And with that, we can start watching Episode 11 of Sentai Daishikkaku in 3, 2, 1, go. Are we gonna need the burst form? Of course. Opening. I wonder if the burst form is actually gonna do something against Peltrola. I have my doubts. I still can't believe it's Yostor that makes it. All this time I associated Yostor pictures with Arknight's PVs and shit. And here they are, making a banger adaptation. Speaking of gachas, the horse gacha, what's it called? Fuck. Umamusume is coming to global after 3 fucking years. Imagine 3 years behind. Yeah. That would be crazy. Precon had, like, what? It was 2 years behind JP, I think. Precon Global. And that was crazy. Waiting for all of the QOL and stuff. 3 years would be. Jesus. Do they even have a 3-year-old version of the game anymore? Yeah, watch him. Exactly. Don't put your guard down. Oh. No, but it's gonna question how he referred to him as the, of course. It's like a cartoon, you know, giving someone a lit bomb. Okay, so we know the moveset. The only plan you have. Exactly. Too late. Do you have only a single burst form sword on you? Oh, that's what they're doing. Okay. And... okay! Hey! Two-pronged attack! Cadet! That was the word I was missing. Okay, I guess everybody has burst form now. Okay. Redemption. Just as I thought. And we got a little bit of a hostage situation. What are those particles? Yeah, keep shooting. You fucking dambass. Okay, he's like a full-on Mahu Shoujo with healing powers. Oh, okay. That's a dope attack. Okay, big blast. I thought your gun was broken. I guess Masurao fixed it as well. Okay. Again, the organic component to their weapons. Oh, sucking Peltrola's attack? While he cannot react because he's paused. Sure. Amazing. Yeah, just use the wand as a fucking mace. Lovely, hearty, full swing. Just a blood stain. True. Why? What's your game again? Survivor? Oh, like a member of your church or something? Hello, Pink. Easy. I guess Suzukiri's plan got thwarted. Or did it? She's worried for her brother. Yeah, she doesn't give a fuck about the other keepers. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Oh? Do you? Friends? The power of the Nakama, my dude. Yeah, true. Finally trusting him. What's your game, D? What's your plan? Yeah, probably not. Three more clones. Oh, is it double X? How? How are you alive, mate? Huh? Okay. Again, the organic, like, pipes and shit. Like, Petrola is made of the same stuff that their weapons are made, seemingly. Are their weapons made of, like, the remains of boss monsters? Yeah. She brought cavalry. And aim at Petrola. Or aim at each other, sure. Yeah. I got those guns. Yeah. You're just a nuisance, Petrola. Oh, those weren't weapons. Still in their hands. Okay, so that means what? D had to reveal his nature to them? Yeah, perfect finale. Let's have Masurao heal you. Assuming he can. Hopefully he can. Yeah. And without super special weapons either. Yes. And boss monsters, should there be any remaining. Whomst. Oh, just, what, robbers? random robbers or... keeper weapons? Fighter weapons? Not fighter, cadet weapons? Or what's inside? Red? Yeah, they really don't seem worried about red. Right. Is it actually red? Oh, I guess it is real red. Red actually fighting crime? What? Or did he just steal the money for himself? Or is it actually money? Who are those people? Hmm. Is he going to, like, join the Rangers? Transform? Blue? What? What the fuck's going on? Oh, I guess he's making donations to an orphanage run by Blue, right? Right, probably. And this dude is an orphan who was raised in this orphanage. Okay. I think that's actually a child VA. That's rare. Also, looks kind of like Hibiki, the kid. Abandonment of a corpse? What do you mean? Oh, he sold them out, of course. Yeah. Probably, yes. What's up with his face? Surface dwellers. Is he a boss monster? He's a boss monster. Okay, I guess that explains what's wrong with his face, then. Whomst. Okay, so is Red, like, cooperating with boss monsters? Join the Rangers or become the villain, right? I mean, why not? You were betrayed by a boss monster, so might as well. The next red? Or the next blue? He was probably mortally wounded by Red himself, let's be honest here. Oh! No, it's a different blue! Oh, okay, I guess that whole thing was a backstory. I mean, he wasn't hit, so... Does it have, like, multiple slots for cartridges, and every lieutenant of his keeps one to, like, limit his power? Something like that? Boss monsters need oxygen to breathe. Good information to have. Or it was hydrochloric acid and he just got dissolved. Or not. Or he actually needs to breathe. Amazing shot with the water dripping down his helmet. Yeah. She was able to sense it. You're going to dissolve, Aran. Don't cry. Yeah, don't put your guard down. D? Oh, I guess he did not discard the idea of defeating the Keepers? Or maybe it was double X? Why would D be hurt so badly to, need to reconstitute? Maybe D actually wants to kill all the Keepers after all. I mean, he said as much. But I really thought that his change in mindset from killing keepers, helping monsters, into helping my own and killing everybody who's against us would mean that if there are keepers who are actually like supportive of his cause, then maybe they don't need to die. I don't know. Maybe that's what this fight is going to achieve between D and Blue. Assuming it is D, because I have my doubts. Okay. Sure. So I guess the finale will be the big fight between D and Blue after all. Let's watch this episode again, and shall we? Yes, we shall. Yeah, the regular weapons don't really do much. Thankfully, the burst form is strong enough to actually threaten the boss monsters. Good to know. I really thought the boss monsters are going to be, in general, a little stronger, I guess. But maybe not so. Maybe actually they can be damaged even with regular cadet issued weapons. Yeah, really good plan. Just keep throwing those between each other so that he can't target any particular, single one of you. Some really cool animation here. Especially to her, jumping around the place. Yeah, that was nice. This is cool. This is a really cool thing. 1, 2, and she understood immediately. Yeah, throws the sword at her. She catches it. Yep. Then throws it to her, who is on the ground. She smacks, and Peltrola is prevented from dodging by her from behind. Perfect synchronization. Yeah, this is actually amazing feat of combat. And yeah, of course, it couldn't have been that easy. This is amazing. Ravri Hati Anakea. With the power of the heart, he gets healed. Amazing. This is, again, super cool. I love their, unique weapons and unique usage of them. I like the trope of a big buff dude using moe moe kyun mahu shoujo powers. That's fairly common, but that same dude using the moe moe kyun wand as a fucking mace to just pulverize his enemies, now that's fresh. That I like. The idea that a mouth, guard, mask, whatever you want to call it, can become a weapon, that's amazing. This is so fucking cool. Yeah, her eyes and this big outline of a maw, drawn around her. Amazing. Yeah, she's a top tier wife, all right. This I want to see. Again, the organic component here. Yamato no Orochi. I guess we don't... No, yeah, this is where we see the actual organic component here. Not just the muscle fibers inside, but how they unfurl. Is it animated on once? I think it is. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, it's animated on once. And Peltrola seems to be made of the same exact thing, which it really makes me think that the like secondary weapons, the weapons given to the lieutenants, might actually be made out of boss monster bodies. Where is it? Sentai Daishikkaku, yeah. Lieutenants' weapons are made out of boss monster corpses, or the weapons and the monsters somehow share the same nature. Weapons and monsters share the same nature. Like, I don't exactly know what it could mean, but I imagine the boss monsters perhaps being somehow artificial, and the weapons are like inert monsters. Not inert, but like, you know, non-sapient, right? Like they're the same thing, but one has sapience and the other doesn't. Maybe something like that. I find it more likely that the weapons are just made out of monster bodies, but I'm honestly not sure. Yeah, this is so cool. Just being able to eat an enemy attack. What does she do with that energy? Does she just, like, you know, eat it? Like, it serves as sustenance, it has calories, and she's not gonna be eating dinner today because she's so full? Or does she, like, turn that energy into bite power or something like that? I don't know. It's cool though. This is amazing. Again, lovely, hearty, full swing. Yeah, the change of art style, the change of face, and just the fucking pummeling Petrola with his Maho Shoujo staff into just the blood stain on the ground. I mean, good to know that both monsters also have blood, right? If it can bleed, we can kill it. Amazing. Can't help you out openly, but I can at least let one of you escape. Right, it's a given that she would detest the Rangers. Dragon priests. Either, I mean, Peltrola isn't shown here. If there was like Peltrola in the background, I would think that maybe Suzukiri is like a former priestess of Peltrola's church or something like that, but no, it's a dragon. And we have dragon keepers. Could it be that the dragon keepers, like, appropriated the powers of a dragon deity that Suzukiri was a priestess for? Something along those lines? Right? Like maybe the keeper weapons are made out of the body of this deity. Or and the deity was reduced to just that pink blob. I don't know. I don't know, but it seems plausible. Dragon keepers. It would actually make sense why Suzukiri is on the hunt for keeper weapons. Yeah! If the weapons are made of the body of the dragon that she worshipped, she wants to gather those weapons to, like, remake the deity. Right? I think I broke the code. I think I'm onto something here. I think I'm onto something. Dragon Keepers used the body of a dragon deity to make weapons. Suzukiri is a former devotee of that dragon and wants to bring it back by collecting the weapons. Would make sense why she placed Red's sword in something that resembled a shrine, right? Like, why would she have a shrine? Why would she be living at a temple? Now we know why. If she's been a priestess or a devotee of this deity. Okay. Alright, things are getting interesting here. That's why we need a second season. Holy shit. Now, thankfully, Pink was there. And again, right, like those muscle fibers. I guess her weapon is her, like, greaves that she wears, her boots. Probably, yeah. Ameno Tadakira no Kami. Something of God. Okay. Yeah, the muscle fibers again. I'm worried. Of course she's worried for her brother. She doesn't give a fuck about the other keepers. Why would she? Or the other rangers. And right, those muscle fibers. This is the thing that connects, like, everything here. Could it be that the boss monsters also have some connection to the dragon deity? Maybe. Boss monsters have a connection to dragon deity, and weapons came before the bosses. Weapons came before bosses. Bosses want to avenge dragon. Something along those lines, right? Like, the body of that deity was stripped down for parts to create weapons, and the remaining bits of the dragon were what created the bosses to retrieve those weapons or to destroy them or something along those lines, or to punish those who dissected its body, something along those lines. I wonder, like, all this time we were led to believe that the boss monsters just appeared out of thin air or out of space or somewhere, and the dragon, the purple dragon, appeared at the same time and gave keepers the powers. But it's a little bit too convenient, isn't it? So what if the dragon deity was stripped down for parts by people, perhaps Red himself, who just wanted power, right? If I have a, the strongest weapon in the world, I can rule the world, this sort of a thinking. And as a defensive mechanism, the dragon created the monsters. So, Red had a ready-made cover story, right? We got those super powerful weapons to protect you from the monsters, right? I'm the force of good. I'm not a weapons trader who wanted to turn the corpse of a god into a weapon. No. I've been chosen to save you from the monsters. Oh, fuck, I might be onto something here. I legitimately might be onto something here. And I'm out of space. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna keep it in mind. Yeah, drop the weapons, but they're not actually going to be the weapons. They're actually going to be parts of Hibiki's body. How is he alive? I really was suspicious of it. How is he still alive? I guess Peltrola missed his vitals? Why though? Like, he's been very good at aiming to kill, shooting to kills all this time, so why would he miss this time around? Yukino managed to land a blow, yeah, and that cracked his mask enough to reveal again the mass of just muscle fibers underneath. The weapons and the monsters really seem to be made of the same thing. This is amazing. It's blood splatter and feathers. I guess he's not depressed anymore. Yeah, they did not abandon their weapons actually, though. Mimicry and the real ones are still here. Perfect X-cut. Amazing. Amazing scene, amazing shot. This smug grin as he falls back. This is great. And the super satisfying ending. You betrayed. Gets stomped. Now this really makes me wonder. Like, those weapons are an effect of mimicry. I'm assuming Peltrola says all of that out loud. Multiple times says, "Do you betrayed us," referring to what the rest believes to be Hibiki. Did he reveal who he is to the rest? Either sometime before off screen, or now by doing what he did, like, you know, inadvertently, without like wanting to reveal it. He just kind of had to reveal it to help them, to save them. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't need your help anymore. Yeah. This isn't the end for me yet. My enemies are the Dragon Keepers. This confused the fuck out of me. There is zero indication that we're watching a flashback. Absolutely zero. I'm sitting here thinking, who the fuck are those people? Why are we watching them? Why are we moving away from the action and watching some fucking randos rob a money transport? Why are we doing that? Where are we? What the fuck is the significance of any of it? And here appears the red. Oddly enough, actually taking action against injustice, but also taking the money with him. So, I don't know. Yeah, I really thought he's doing some shady business. But apparently no. Apparently it's payment or donation for the orphanage run by Blue. And I thought, oh, right, it makes sense. Like, Blue might be a delinquent, but he's very much a good guy under the mask. And I just completely missed the fact that he doesn't have scars on his face. But I also knew that, yeah, Blue is a good guy, actually. And yeah, that started making sense, kinda, sorta. but I was confused about, again, about the placement, like chronological order of it. When is it happening? I thought that maybe we got like a week of a time skip or something. Peltorola has been defeated, stuff like that, and we are entering the next arc in a very jarring manner, but still entering the next arc. But no. No, not at all. Children with no one to turn to will only increase. Right. And it is Hibiki, actually. We know that he was raised in the orphanage. He was raised by... We knew that he was raised by Blue. We did not know that it was at an orphanage. And is that Shun? It is Shun. They were raised in the same place. Right? Shun already told us. So it is Hibiki and Shun. Okay. They got busted, of course. Yeah, this is a thing with, you know, dealing with bad people in general. Bad people are bad people. You cannot expect things like loyalty, for example, from them, right? That's I think, where was it? I think it was a line in like Witcher 3, the Blood and Wine expansion, right? Geralt talking to the kids about goodness, right? Is it worth being good? And there was a line, something along the lines of good people attract good people, and bad people or scoundrels attract scoundrels, and would you rather a good person have your back or a scoundrel, right? Stuff like that. If you are a good person, you attract good people and they will have your back. If you're a scoundrel and attract scoundrels, they will not have your back because they're fucking scoundrels, right? This sort of thing. And it very often happens, I noticed, where in media, in anime, I noticed it at least a couple of times already in various different shows, where I think it was most prominent in Symphogear. I might be misremembering it though, where there's a group of bad people, a group of villains, and oh, one of the villains fucked the other ones over? How could it happen? I thought he's a nice guy. No, it was a bunch of villains. Of course he's gonna do the villainous thing and betray his peers. He's a fucking villain, to the surprise of nobody, right? I like it. I like this trope of villains betraying other villains. Surface dwellers, and he's apparently a boss monster. He got slashed, and there is red. I really thought that... I actually wonder if red is working with boss monsters. Now, where do I find some free space? That's Wasuyu. How much space do I leave for Wasuyu? I mean, it's been just one episode of Wasuyu, and I already covered like a quarter of a page, so a whole page at least I would like to leave. So I'm gonna say sometime somewhere here. Sentai Daishikkaku. Continuation. And Sentai Daishikkaku. There. Continued further. There we go. What was I? Red is cooperating with boss monsters. Red is working with boss monsters. How else would he get his hands on the next blue, though? I wonder. Was it that Blue saved... the old Blue saved the new Blue, and that's how he got wounded in the process? Probably not. Did Red finish off that boss monster? likely, if he actually is obsessed with his image as a hero, he would actually want to defeat the boss monsters, because if it is revealed in public that the boss monster exists, that's a hit to Red's reputation, right? Because you told us you defeated the boss monsters, but one of them just appeared in the middle of Tokyo. You're not a hero at all, right? So it would be in his interest, in his self-centered interest, to actually get rid of the boss monsters. I wonder. You're half right, but you have the potential to aim even higher. Truth be told, yeah, that was a goner. Can you forgive that dastardly monster? This line in particular really makes me think that it was Red who did Blue in. It wasn't a monster, it was Red's doing. Power of the Dragon Gods will grant your wish. Shogo Aoshima, you are the new Blue Keeper. And now we finally get a proper explanation that yes, this entire thing was a flashback, was a backstory. And I guess he did defeat the boss monster that damaged his face in the end. My cartridge. Why does he need cartridges from his lieutenants? I wonder. Is it that the lieutenants can use those cartridges as weapons themselves? Or is it that he is like limited by the lack of the cartridges and he's only given cartridges when necessary? When required? Actually, not a bad theory. Blue is limited artificially by the necessity of cartridges. I don't think any other keeper needs them. Although we haven't seen that much of the keepers fighting for real, so I'm not sure. This is cool. Even the boss monsters need to breathe. And amazing shot. I love it. His face on the side of the screen, dripping with water. Such a cool shot. And immediately got uprooted by, I'm not dead yet. Amazing. Now, I wonder what's gonna happen here, actually. I don't think D has a sliver of a chance against Blue. And I also wouldn't want Blue to die to some bullshit. Like, D cannot die. And because he's, you know, the main character. So, if this fight is for real, then there are only two possibilities for D to survive. Three, actually. One, he just kills Blue. The simplest way. But I wouldn't like that. I would like for D to actually adjust his worldview even further. To actually see that the keepers that he hates, the keeper singular that he hates, is Red. And that others actually want, you know, to just live their lives and help people in need and stuff like that. I would like for that to happen. So while the solution of Blue just dying in the process, dying to D, would be the easiest, I don't think it would be. This show also doesn't stray from more complex solutions and more complex resolutions to all those little storylines. So it wouldn't surprise me if they went for something more complex. What could be more complex than Blue fucking dies? One, D and Blue have a chance to talk things out. D realizes that Blue might actually be better as an ally. Blue realizes that D might actually be better as an ally. They start cooperating. Yeah. Maybe with the help of someone else, someone's interference, right? Maybe these friends jump in trying to stop Blue and are like, no, he actually killed the boss monster, so let's stop fighting, let's talk it out, or something to that effect. Maybe. The other possibility is D fakes his death and just, gets remade somewhere else, but that would mean we have to either discard this whole cadet arc, because D would no longer be able to keep his Hibiki guys, or we would have to have D take a different form, maybe Ranmaru. But that wouldn't work, I don't think, because the entire, like everywhere you see this show, every poster, every piece of media, Hibiki's face is front and center. So it wouldn't do to turn the main character into something else to that degree, right? So the easiest way would be Blue dies. The way I'm hoping for is D and Blue work through their differences and decide to work together. We'll see. We'll see that. We'll see what happens. Never stop fighter D. Also, this kind of makes me think that Blue might actually survive, right? This like light-hearted felt puppet ending with Blue being here and no drama. I don't know. I'm just hopeful. I'm just hopeful that Blue survives and D survives, of course. I mean, D surviving is basically a given, but I really would like Blue to survive. We'll see there. We shall see. Right now, though, that's gonna be it for this episode. Another good one. Another banger. Like, I have one singular criticism for it, and that's the fact that the flashback was not given any sort of indicator that it's actually flashback. Maybe it was done on purpose. Maybe it was done on purpose to confuse the reader, viewer, etc. If so, it's a questionable choice, but it is a choice. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure what would be a purpose of misleading the viewer, so I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to feel about it. Not a big issue with this episode, nothing particularly major, but just something that I feel like criticizing a little bit, and I feel like that criticism might be even valid. The whole flashback, though, does it make me worried about Blue? I don't know. I'm not sure if this show would go for such a cheap trick. It's basically the cheapest trick in the book, where you introduce a character and we know absolutely nothing about them. They just appear every now and then, do some fighting, but besides that, we don't even know who they are. We don't even know their name. We don't even know their backstory, nothing like that. And then that character needs to be killed because story reasons, but we also need to make the viewer care about them, because currently they don't. So we show a flashback, we show how that character is helping stray kittens, we show them like donating to an orphanage and being a very good person, and holy shit, they're so good, they're, like them, and then they get killed for effect, right? Instead of growing the appreciation for that character, growing to like them, growing to know them, and then killing them for effect, the creators of the show or book or manga or whatever just do very short bursts of intense character development for that character to just kill them off immediately after. It's very cheap. And I really don't think this story would go for cheap tricks like that. I'm not sure though. I might be mistaken. Maybe this flashback in the source material occurred earlier. Maybe it occurred in like a span of multiple chapters or volumes even. I don't know. Which, again, I don't know whether to be hopeful or not. Because if I take it as I see it's a cheap trick to make us care about Blue, so it stands to reason that he will be killed, because why would they make us care about him if that wasn't the case? So I can be worried about him dying. On the other hand, I can see that it's a cheap trick, but this show wouldn't go for such cheap tricks, so it's probably a misdirection. It's probably actual backstory to Blue, and he will not die, actually. He will continue. I don't know. I'm not sure. Again, I would very much like for Blue and Pink at least to survive. I'm not sure about Green. We haven't spent much time with him. I'm not sure about Yellow. We have not spent much time with him either. Red can go to hell. I mean, that much is obvious. But Blue and Pink, please let them live. Please, change your worldview even more, right? While it's still malleable, while you made the change into, freeing yourself from the boss monsters, you can adjust your worldview and your goals a little bit more. Hopefully, that's what happens, but that would also require Blue to play along, and I don't think he would without Komachi. Which makes me think that maybe Komachi is going to get involved, but then that would mean that she knows that D is a boss, is a monster, and she's also at the hospital right now. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see, I guess. We'll see where it goes. In any case, very good episode. Some really cool bits and pieces of animation. I still can't fucking believe it's Yostar Pictures. Really cool story, really cool resolution to the whole Petrola thing. The big fucking reveal that Yumeko Suzukiri has something to do with the boss monsters, and my crazy fucking pins on the on the corkboard theory about the body of a dragon deity. That was good. More of this, please. Let me fucking speculate. Feed me vague details so that I can spew my bullshit speculations. I love this shit. I live for it. So hopefully more of that. This show has been very good about that. So hopefully that continues. But right now, I guess that's gonna be it from me for today, but maybe you guys have something more to add on the topic of this episode. If so, say so in the comments down below. What did you think of it, of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? No spoilers, please. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description below. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Sentai Daishikkaku, but also Wasuyu, Spice and Wolf, Unnamed Memory Finale, Kaito Otome, Kaiju Hachigo Finale, and more. Click the bell to be notified of when those episodes are released and when I go live with my seasonal live stream soon, for example. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Wasuyu, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can support me on the YouTube as well directly. Memberships, super thanks, super chats. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing and helps a lot. And with that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my one through Patreons: QB, Without a Nedze, Reine, Yukiala, Ishtamul, Dr. Watt, Akamasar, Marsh, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to donate to an orphanage, although you probably should.